My dear brothers and sisters, for the past weeks, we have been listening from the gospel about the journeys of Jesus. Jesus was entering into different towns, different places. And many times, we will see that Jesus was rejected in many places. But today, we see a place where Jesus was not rejected. In fact, Jesus was welcomed as an intimate friend of a family. And this is a village which we know is in Bethany, the house of Martha, Mary, and Lazarus. And they were called the friends of Jesus. This is the difference of Bethany compared to many other different places of the journeys of Jesus. In Bethany, Jesus felt welcomed. In Bethany, Jesus was not judged. In Bethany, Jesus was not criticized. In Bethany, Jesus was loved. Kaya makikita natin sa Ebanghelyo na ilang beses bumalik si Jesus sa Betanya, sapagkat doon nakatagpo siya ng mga kaibigan na tatanggap sa kanya, hindi siya huhusgahan at minamahal siya. And this is also the experience of Martha and Mary in Bethany. Let us take, for example, Martha in our gospel passage today. Martha was so busy preparing for the food of Jesus, their guest. And when she noticed that Mary was not helping her, Martha complained to Jesus, and she said, "Lord, do you not care that my sister is not helping me?" It is as if Martha was complaining to Jesus, "Lord, do you not notice me? Do you not notice how I prepare all of this for you? Do you not notice how busy I am working for you, and yet you are just noticing Mary?" But Jesus replied to her, "Martha, Martha, you are anxious and worried about many things." It is as if Jesus was telling her, you do not need to exert so much effort just to be noticed and loved by me. Hindi mo na kailangang magpa-impress sa akin. That is the reality of our world. Sometimes you need to impress other people just to be noticed and loved. But for Jesus, He says to Martha, here in Bethany, we are friends. And you do not need to pretend. You do not need to be anxious and worried not to be noticed, because I notice you. I love you, because here in Bethany, you are my friend. And that is also the experience of Mary, sitting at the feet of Jesus, listening to Him, learning from Him. And Mary was listening intently to Jesus. Here in this passage, Mary was enjoying learning from Jesus because she was learning not to be judged. She was not worried that in that learning, Jesus will judge her, will give her an exam. She was not worried learning from Jesus because they were in Bethany, a place where they were not judged, a place where they need not worry impressing people just to be loved. My dear brothers and sisters, are our homes Bethanies also for your family, where they feel that they will not be judged, where they feel they need not pretend just to be impressed or loved by you? Are our places of work Bethanies also, where we feel we are appreciated, where we feel we are loved and accepted? Yung atin bang mga tahanan, iba't ibang mga lugar ng trabaho, opisina, yan ba'y ginagawa nating parang Betanya ni Jesus, kung saan walang panghuhusga, hindi kailangang magpakitang tao para lang mahalin ka at tanggapin ka? I remember one time, ako po ay namili sa isang mall. Kailangan kong bumili ng sapatos. At kapag ako po ay namimili sa mga tindahan, hindi naman ko ako nakaporma, no? Simpleng damit lang. May isang nag-asikaso sa akin na sales lady. Nung tatanungin ko na siya ng size ng sapatos, paglingin ko, wala na sa tabi ko. Nandun na sa mas mayaman na pumasok, no? Kausap ko pa lang siya. Paglingon ko, nakita niya yung pumasok mas mayaman, no? May mga alakas. Kaya yun ang inasikaso niya. Kaya sabi ko, aray, no? I was judged by my appearance. Gusto ko sanang bumili ng 10 sapatos. Kaya lang, hindi ko kaya. Kaya umalis na lang ako. Have we made our places Bethanies where we do not judge people, where people need not to impress you for you to accept them and to love them? In our first reading today from the book of Genesis, we see here Abraham in Mamre, when he saw the strangers coming towards their tent, he did not judge the strangers. In fact, he immediately called his servants to prepare food for them. Kahit hindi niya kilala ang mga bisita, hindi niya hinusgahan. Binuksan niya ang kanyang tahanan para sa kanila. And the strangers, in turn, did not judge Abraham and Sarah, who in their old age has not yet produced a son. They did not judge Sarah. In fact, they blessed her. And the following year, she was to bear a son. My dear brothers and sisters, this is the challenge for all of us today. Let us make our homes, our places of work, even our parishes and communities as Bethanies, where we do not judge, where we do not condemn, where we do not qualify and quantify people, where people feel that they do not need to impress you just for you to love and accept them. That is the Bethany of Jesus, where he was accepted, where he was loved, and where Martha and Mary was loved and accepted by Jesus. Yung atin bang mga tahanan ay Bethania, kung saan nagmamahalan at tinatanggap ang isa't isa? O baka masakit magsalita kahit sa tahanan at pakiramdam ng anak, hindi siya tanggap ng kanyang magulang. I see some religious sisters here. Are our houses of formation Bethanies? Do we form our sisters or do we judge them? Sometimes when you are in formation, like the sisters here, or when you are a seminarian studying to become a priest, when you are in front of your formator, you feel that you are in front of a judge and you are afraid that you will be judged. Let us make even our churches, our houses of formation as Bethanies, where we are not judged, but where we are formed and loved in the heart of Jesus. Siguro po, marami po sa inyo dito ay ramdam na ang pagtaas ng presyo ng mga bilihin. Tama ba ako? Tumataas ang gasolina at kasama nito lahat ng presyo tumataas. Dati, kapag ang mga mahihirap nagreklamo na tumataas ang presyo, sinasabihan natin, pwede ba wag na kayo magreklamo? Magtrabaho ka na lang. Dati kapag nakakakita tayo ng mga mahihirap, nagrereklamo sa taas ng presyo at bilihin, sinasabi natin, siguro rally ng rally yan. Komunista siguro yan, kaya ganyan. Walang alam kundi magreklamo. Ngayon, lahat apektado na. Naku, lahat nagre-reklamo. Pero mas maganda ang term, it's because of the inflation, because of the war, because of the worldwide effects of inflation. Kapag mahirap ang nagreklamo, komunista. Kapag mayaman ang nagreklamo, he may be an economist. He knows how the economy is running. How unfair. How judging we are. We have made the world not a Bethany. We have made our society a society that judges and looks at the appearance of people. Let us learn from our second reading today, from the letter of St. Paul to the Colossians. When St. Paul wrote this letter, he was in prison. But we see in the second reading today that even if he was suffering, he did not judge Jesus and told Jesus, "You are the source of my suffering." In fact, St. Paul said in our second reading today, "I rejoice in my sufferings, because in these sufferings, God has made known to us Christ, our hope for glory." His prison, he has turned into his Bethany. Even if it was a place of suffering, it became for St. Paul a place for love and a place for hope. My dear brothers and sisters, as we continue this celebration of the Eucharist, let us be reminded of the Bethany of Jesus. The place where Jesus was welcomed and loved. The place where Martha and Mary was not judged, but accepted by Jesus. Let us turn our homes, our workplaces, our schools, and our societies into the Bethanies of Jesus. Amen.